You might think that taking a GLP-1 agonist like Mounjaro or Ozempic is all it takes to lose weight, but the reality is that's not quite true. If you're struggling to lose weight taking these medications, or any other GLP-1 agonist for that matter, you're not alone. In today's video, I'll reveal some effective strategies to help you maximize your weight loss results on these medications so you can make the most out of your treatment and see the changes that you've been looking for. Hi there. I'm Sarah. I'm a registered dietitian and board certified specialist in obesity and weight management. And over the years, I've had the privilege to work with thousands of clients to help them manage their weight, even those who've taken a variety of different weight loss medications. I'm so excited to be here today to share my knowledge and wisdom with you to support you on your journey. And without further ado, let's get into the topic on hand. In simple terms, GLP-1 agonists work to help you lose weight by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing appetite. And usually that alone is enough to help us intuitively change the way we eat. But not always. And so in order to lose weight, we really do have to change the way we eat. If you continue to eat the way you had been eating on your GLP-1, you likely could not lose weight. Okay, so however, in order to maximize on your weight loss journey, you want to take the lowest effective dose to reduce side effects so you can stay on the medication long term with comfort and ease and continue to see the benefits. So let's talk about some of those side effects and how to manage them, because that's one of the reasons I find a lot of people get off the medication. They might find that it's supporting their weight loss journey, yet they don't feel well in their body. And obviously, what's more important, feeling well and healthy in our body than losing weight. So if you're dealing with constipation, then try some of these strategies. So if you're finding that constipation is a challenge, one, you might need to actually eat more food, and especially foods rich in fiber, like kiwi, asparagus, chia seeds, or maybe even take a fiber supplement. Oftentimes, a stool softener or a stool stimulator can be helpful, and those can be found in things like senna leaf tea or magnesium citrate with vitamin C, or even something like trifala. I'd say probably one of the most common side effects that I see is nausea. And while I will say that I think the most common cure for nausea that I've found in my practice is ensuring that my patients are adequately hydrated with fluid as well as electrolytes, sometimes we just continue to have this persistent nausea despite adequate hydration and actually eating. So if that's you, I'd say ginger products are hands down the most effective. You can find ginger tea, ginger tinctures. I really think that these Vermont ginger mints were great for nausea. And the nice thing is each mint has less than 1 gram of sugar. So it's not like you're eating a bunch of sugar with them. They were great to cut through nausea. Indigestion is a common one. The way that the GLP-1 agonists work is it slows down motility. So the food tends to sit in the tummy a little bit longer. So with that being said, some of the things that can help are going to be things like Tums, DGL licorice, digestive enzymes. I think this is a really great product. There's also just regular like papaya enzymes that you can take after your meal, which definitely make it feel like your food starts to settle a little bit better if you're feeling a little too full. Another good one, if you're feeling some like upper GI gas, like a lot of belching or a lot of lower GI gas, are these peppermint gels from the Now brand. They work great. My second tip to maximize your weight loss journey is to not drop your calories too low, which I realize might seem strange to say because we've all been taught by the media that the way to lose weight is to eat less. But the reality is, if you drop your calories too low, it can be the reason why you're not losing weight. So in order to prevent your metabolism from thinking you're starving and dropping your calories too low, is to eat 3 to 6 mini meals per day. And the reason I say a mini meal is you're going to feel full very quickly on a small volume of food. So when I'm talking about a mini meal, what I'm really getting at is a meal could be a string cheese, a lunch Jaeger, a protein shake, a hard-boiled egg, a mug of bone broth. So the idea is basically 3 to 6 times per day, you're ingesting something that has protein, calories, nutrients, etc., right? Eating this many times will ensure that you're maximally stimulating your metabolism and preventing it from slowing down and slowing the efficacy of your weight loss. My third tip really connects with the second one, but with a twist, and that is this tip is all about what foods and what macros to eat. And that is, I really want you to prioritize your protein. As you're losing weight, your body is going to break down both fat and muscle. And it's easier for your body to break down muscle than it is for fat. So if you are eating a high carbohydrate diet and you're not getting enough protein, then what can happen is you can start to see muscle wasting. So if you want to not see muscle wasting and sort of push your body metabolically into metabolizing fat for fuel and restore any muscle mass that gets broken down, eat a high protein diet. In regards to the grams of protein and how much you might need, the minimum I would recommend getting on a GLP-1 would be 75 grams, and that's for a short person. Likely you can get over 100 grams of protein. If you have a unique health condition that you're working with a dietitian for, or you have another dietitian you're working with for weight loss, of course default to their recommendations. This is YouTube, I'm just giving some general guidelines, right? Okay. And then lastly, in regards to carbohydrates, so as you prioritize your protein, I do want you getting carbohydrates. Generally speaking, I like to see carbohydrates coming in a consistent carbohydrate fashion. So that might mean that each of your 4 or 5 meals per day, you have 10 to 15 grams of carbs. But I don't like them to be higher than the protein. So we wouldn't want you to have a meal that's like 10 grams protein, 50 grams carbs. That's going to be really out of balance. So really prioritizing your protein still with having some carbohydrate throughout the day. Sometimes I get this question of like, why do we need carbohydrates and why am I not talking about dietary fats? So first and foremost, most of our protein sources and most of the ways we might even cook our carbohydrates contain some fats, whether that's almonds, olive oil, butter, avocado, beef, eggs, cheese. There's just fats tend to be dispersed throughout most of our meals. So I generally don't talk specifically about fats. In regards to carbohydrates, what I would say is we need carbohydrates not just as an energy source, but for the vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients that they provide, because those are the things that carbohydrates provide that are going to help maintain our health. Additionally, though, if you are exercising, whether that's walking, jogging, doing intensive weightlifting, the number one immediate fuel source for your muscles is glycogen, and our body restores glycogen via the carbohydrates we eat. So it is absolutely essential that you do eat some carbohydrate, and that will not adversely impact your weight loss journey, so long as the protein is more dominant in your diet. Stay tuned for the rest of my recommendations, but we're going to take a brief break with a word from our sponsor. The sponsor is me, surprise! I'm just being such a dork. If you are taking a GLP-1, you've likely noticed the improvement in the reduction of food noise. If that's the case, now is the perfect time to work through some of the concepts in the Surfing the Urge activity book. I wrote this book. It's phenomenal. It has wonderful strategies in there to help you learn how to tune in to your own body hunger and satiety signals, as well as develop a stronger sense of identity and self, as well as work through some of the self-esteem issues you may have developed over a lifetime of diet cycling, as well as reclaiming the sacred. And that means the sacred aspects of yourself and how you nourish your body. So we're heading into my last 2 recommendations and 1 bonus recommendation at the very end, and that is taking supplements. Because you may be going into your weight loss journey on a GLP-1 agonist already with some pre-existing nutrient deficiencies from a history of dieting, and now you're going to be consuming less food, not to mention the fact that weight loss ultimately is a detoxification process for the body, and your body is going to be utilizing more methylators and more nutrient stores to do this process, that you really do need to take a look at your micronutrient status. Micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. According to these studies, there are a variety of nutrients that you may be or become deficient in as you lose weight. And those are vitamin A, D, B1, B9, B12, iron, calcium, potassium, iodine, and magnesium. And no, please don't just run out there and then just start taking a bunch of those nutrients. There are different things to consider. So if you want to connect with me, we can always do some functional testing. That can be great. Or connect with your healthcare provider and discuss with them some strategies for taking the appropriate amounts and the types of different supplements that can be supportive of your health. If you do have an idea of the supplements you want to take, or you're looking for some high quality products like that I mentioned earlier, different supplements like Triphala, for example, you can always check the information box below. I give all of my clients 25% off of the highest quality supplements on my Fullscript store, so you can find the link to my store below. And my last tip is hydration, and it's not last because it's the least important. In many ways, it is the most important. If you're losing weight and eating a high protein diet, your body is detoxing, as well as you do run the risk of developing kidney stones. So adequately hydrating will ensure that you're detoxing and reducing your risk for developing kidney stones. The reason this is so important is that GLP-1 medications buffer or suppress or reduce appetite as well as thirst. So I really want you in the habit of drinking even if you're not thirsty. Thirst is not a signal to drink, it's a signal that you should have been drinking, right? So please start to be mindful to consume a minimum of 64 ounces of water per day. And actually, it doesn't just have to be water. It can be a combination of other hydrating beverages, maybe electrolytes or herbal tea. There's a lot of different hydrating beverages out there. So it doesn't have to just be water, but basically water needs to be the foundation of that hydrating beverage. I hope that makes sense. Oh, and my bonus tip is this. It's something we learned from the wonderful book Atomic Habits, and that is those who struggle tend to focus on the goal. Drink more water, drink more water. But those who excel focus on a system. How can I drink more water? This is really important. So one of the things that I want you to think about is if your goal is to eat high protein and you're eating 5 times per day, let's say you want to eat 100 grams of protein per day, that would be about 20-ish grams of protein per meal, right? So if you can get about 20 grams of protein per meal, by the end of the day, you've met your goal. That's a system. And remember, at the end of the day, what we've talked about today isn't something that can just be wrapped up neatly. This is real, this is human, this is health, this is biology, and it's complex. We are all navigating the challenges of life, trying to make sense of the ups and the downs. So if you feel like you don't have it all figured out, And there's one thing that you take away from this video, and that is it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to still be learning and applying new concepts to improve your health. If you found this video helpful, of course, you know I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope to see you again.